Okay.
That's great. So let's call the meeting to order at 5:33.
Can we do a roll call?
Sure.
Here.
Roland here.
And Larson here.
Aaron Hart? And
Do you need me to? Oh, Lucy Dalton. I thought you were just doing the committee. Sorry.
Yeah, probably just committee, right? No?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
actually, yeah. And then I've got Lucy here, and I don't know who's Mary.
Mary Syriac is from the Finance Committee.
Oh, okay.
Great. We need to reorganize, Margaret, on the front end of it?
Yes.
Because we don't have a chair, do we?
You're the acting chair at the moment because you were the vice chair. So I nominate you to be chair.
I'll second that.
Wow. That was a quick draw.
It's once a year.
I'll accept.
Thank you. I mean, do we only meet tonight and we make all the decisions tonight?
No, I mean one period of time a year.
Oh, geez.
Sometimes it, goes a lot longer, but it's generally like a 2 or 3 month period of time.
Thank you.
Okay, so do we want to vote on that?
Yep. All those in favor?
Okay,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think it was unanimous.
Yes.
Vice chair, does anybody want to raise their hand?
I could do vice chair.
Margaret, I nominate Margaret for vice chair.
Second that.
Aye.
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 Great. Do we need a
Then we need a clerk.
clerk?
Can we nominate Sharon? Since this is my first ever meeting and I'm already the clerk on
And
my,
Sharon's done it before. I did it before that, and then Sharon's been doing it. I think we generally do it for like 3 years before we get to pass it on.
Oh, I second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, great. So I don't know how you folks want to do this. We could do a spreadsheet. We could share a spreadsheet.
If you have one, that's great.
I haven't, like, I've written notes, but we can easily put this up on a spreadsheet as we do it,
That's fine.
if we'd like. That way we have kind of an idea, and I don't know how you folks want to go from an order of operations standpoint, like where to start. I mean, we have Lucy here now, so we could just out of, in case Lucy has somewhere else to be, we could just take up her request and at least hear about what she's requesting, which is the E360 program.
Yep.
Okay, let's hear about that.
I actually.
You have 2 requests, right?
Yeah. And I told Ed that the order I wanted them was the voting machine first, the tabulator, and then the Code 360 program. I sent him all the paperwork. Did he send you the quotes and stuff? Okay. So,
voting machine somehow. Sorry.
my tabulator is my number one choice because our machine right now is over 22 years old. They don't make the machine anymore. I went to Capitol like 3 years ago when I first was interim town clerk. Matt, I think you were at the meeting, and Charlie was on it. And my request was, put on the back burner. And here we are 3 years later, and it's time to move up with the machines. We don't want any, problems like in 2018 at the beginning of the year in May when, the tabulator broke and we had to call Salem, New Hampshire for them to drive it down and hold off and count 450 hand counted votes. So, I sent the 2 quotes that I got was one for $5,200 for the one tabulator. And the second one was $9,700. That was for the 2 tabulators. So if one breaks down, we have one right in reserve. They're more efficient. They are more helpful. And I really think that we need to get with the modern world. LHS does not, they don't even make the parts anymore for the other machines. And he said that, a lot of the municipalities are going towards this new machine, and they have to, if our machine breaks down, they have to go and pick apart one of those old machines from some warehouse that they have to get a part for us. So I really, really think that we should go with this, and I hope that you approve it because it is desperately needed. So I don't know what questions you have, but
It just sounds like Lucy, it just sounds like it's obsolete. And so
it is. And the representative said he'd be willing to come out and do a demonstration of it. So if you all want to join that, I know it's not it's for fiscal year 22. So he said he would come over the summer, show us how the new machine works, if you approve it, and you're more than welcome to come to the demonstration and see how it works. So
Two current of the old ones.
I'm sorry.
We only have one voting machine right now.
So it's a machine, but what we're replacing is the tabulator. That's, so yeah, we have two of those. We have two. Yeah. One's a spare.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, just help me here. The tabulator is separate from another machine, or what is it?
So it's a big black box that you come up to and you put your ballot in. The part that we want, we'd get a new box too. But the most important part is the tabulator. So.
Okay. But the whole machine gets replaced.
It's the whole machine. Yes. The whole machine gets placed. Yeah.
It's not just a portion of the old machine.
No, it's we won't keep the old body part of, we'll get a whole new body and a whole new tabulator, because the tabulators come out so they can be locked up.
Got it.
So
two of them is the 9700.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying we have two now?
We have two of the old ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Are those two old ones the same models?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And, there's maintenance. They have to do maintenance on them every year. It's a $300 maintenance fee for it. So they just, clean them up and make sure that the ink is running. And
now, wait, so why does this quote look like it's 9,700 for one? Or what? Am I not reading it right? I mean, it looks like spare tab. Okay, no, I am reading it. All right, fine. Yeah. So why is the second one less expensive?
Because it's a spare.
So is it not carrying certain things that the other one has?
No, it will have the same thing. It's just if the first one that we have, the original, breaks, then we have the spare one.
But why is the price not identical? Are they giving us a break for two instead of just one?
Probably, yeah.
With this price?
Yeah. I don't have the quote in front of me. I'm so sorry. I left it on my desk. So.
And now, is there a yearly maintenance fee for them?
It's $300. Yeah.
It will be for those.
Yeah. It was $200, but we got a letter at the beginning of the year saying it was going up to $300.
Yeah, because the application says 200. So is
right.
it 100 per machine or 200 for both?
No, it's 300. It's
for the two?
For both, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I hope you grant me this, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I see that.
Well, wait, what was the other priority?
The other one.
Yeah. Can you talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other one is called E-Code 360. It's a codification program for our bylaws. And the company would come in, we'd send them all of our bylaws. They would organize them, have them in, a organized manner. If we get a new bylaw, they would send it to their legal department, have them review it. It would save money on our legal fees that we have. And it's a really, really great program. know that I had sent the select board last year or the year before a packet, or I sent it to Ed to give to you all. Matt, Matt, you're the only select board member here, but, and it was just, hold on a second. I'm sorry.
So there are other towns that do have this E360 and it's,
Sorry, my husband has an injury, so, but can I put you on mute for a second? Can I come back to this? Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a number of communities that use this.
that use this, yes.
If it
So-
expedites getting bylaw approvals and it reduces our legal costs, or my questions, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the range was for. It was 3,900.
Yeah, it was such a big range. I was going to ask that too.
So we need to find that out, because if it's under 5,000, then it doesn't belong in capital.
Yep. Yep. I mean, the big range is something that I had a concern about, and also I'm just curious as to whether or not this should be vetted by the technology committee first.
The E-code 360, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because we have a robust technology committee now that's really trying to fix our obvious technological problems.
This is something that the technology committee could not do, because the codification program is a program where they do all the organizing of the general bylaws. They know all the laws. So it's not in the same realm of technology. And there are numerous municipalities that use it all over. If you go to Dartmouth, Mass, it's right on their on their website, and you click on Eco 360 General, and it just brings everything into a organized manner, numbered and sorted, and they do the updates. So if we have something that gets updated after Attorney General's office sends it back, we send it to them, and they add it right into the system. So,
And the annual operating cost is almost $1,200, Lucy, is that what I saw?
yeah, it's $11.95, something like that.
So Lucy, what's the range for the 3,900 to 7,000?
I wish I had my paperwork with me. Did Ed give you the packet that I sent?
He
Yeah,
did.
we have
but-
it.
Okay, there's a quote page in there that says 3,900 for the base, and then underneath it says 2,700, I think, for the groundwater bylaw. So
Oh, so that's an add-on or something?
if we wanted to add it on, then we could add that in. So, but the base price is 3,900.
Do you
Does the
feel
base
like,
price cover all of our bylaws?
I'm sorry?
Does the base price cover all of our bylaws?
Well, whatever we add in, we have to pay for. So,
All right. We have a lot of bylaws, so this just gets us the program.
yeah. And then there's the $11.95 maintenance fee yearly that they will add in the new bylaws with.
All right. And then every bylaw is an additional fee.
I would have to find that out.
So my understanding is that they'll do it once a year for a fee. If you,
It's included, yeah.
right, once a year. I think if you do it more than once a year, it may be an additional cost.
Right.
yeah, it wouldn't make sense for each bylaw to cost something. But
Right. That's why the $11.95 is for. Yeah.
Lucy, do you feel like we really need the groundwater one? Because if we don't, then this wouldn't come in under capital.
So Christine Fowles said that she had talked with the select board members and thought that they wouldn't include the groundwater bylaw because there was still discussion about it and some changes that are going on. But she had told me to check with Randall on that. So I tried to call Randall the other day, and I know he's very busy, so I didn't get an answer from his phone. So, but I honestly think that this is a very, very important part of our website that would help with bylaw. I mean, we are in bylaw committee meetings every other week, and this codification program, they know all the words, they know all the laws. So, and what they do is they review what we send them, and then they send it back to us for another review. So.
Yeah, Lucy, I think it's actually fantastic if we could have something that would help us kind of contain and work on that. It's just under $5,000. It doesn't belong with capital. So we don't include the groundwater aspect of it, which it sounds like we're not quite ready to do that. Then it would come under regular operating expenses.
Yeah, it's $3,900 because everything else is bolted onto it. So the cost of actually getting the program is $3,900, and then
it's $3,900 plus the $1,195.
Yeah, but we don't count that.
We don't deal with that.
Yeah,
that's outside of our scope.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you,
All righty. Thank you.
So do we want to assemble the list of items, and then that way we see the entire list before we say whether we want to?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I have it. Yeah, I mean, I just wrote it down, and I think Sharon did the same thing.
So I'm putting it on a spreadsheet right now.
Okay.
We want to just get everything on a spreadsheet, and then we can discuss it at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this one is strangely more straightforward than most of them because we can easily cover all of the requests minus the highway and the greenway.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for us.
Yeah.
And because I'm new, I have a question. Is it normal or advised that we just spend it all every year?
Yeah, so when we started this, so how long have I been on capital? Like 7, 8 years. And it hadn't been in existence prior to that. And so we'd agreed that we would try to keep about 15% in reserve. And I think that worked okay for the first 2 years, and then it all went to hell. And we weren't able to do that. But it seems that we should be able to do that this year.
But we don't have the quotes from the library yet, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And we also, we don't have it from police.
We don't have it from police, but that's a boiler, right?
Well, I don't know what the police one I haven't gotten to yet, but the library one, we do have the cost for the replacement of the boiler, which is their only request.
So I have a question. Isn't there the green community? Are they looking at heating systems?
The Greenway?
No, Green Communities grant.
Green.
Not in this instance. Green Communities doesn't deal with failure replacement. It deals with increasing efficiency. So they're not gonna. I don't think they deal with broken items. Like lack of maintenance, basically, is where we're at with this. That's my understanding.
Okay. Only because you look at it and it's like the police station, they have theirs, library, and then I know DPW, I think, is looking for it next year. So I was just thinking maybe if that was all together.
Yeah, I think we. No, I hear what you're saying with that. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that Green Communities doesn't cover something that's like neglect and failure to repair. It doesn't cover that.
Can somebody tell me what the library's dollar amount was? Because I can't seem to find it.
Yeah, new boiler, water heater, total cost of
Anywhere from 10 to
18,500 is what
18.5 is what Ed is recommending that we put in the budget, because that also covers the engineering fee, because he was worried that wasn't in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought he said the 19,000 may not be, he thought it was low or something. So maybe I misunderstood what I read.
Yeah, he's suggesting the middle quote and then adding two 2,500 to it, which would bring it to 18,500. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I don't have that one. I must have Have to check my spam file.
So I have a question. I haven't gone back, but in capital request for 2020, looked like there was a water tank heater for library. And I just don't know did that get funded or not? That didn't get funded?
I don't have that information.
Okay.
My guess is that he's specifically asking for a hot water heater to be included. So I think it's fair to assume that it wasn't.
It didn't get, okay.
Probably because of the boiler situation. I'm just trying to enter the rest of this in here if you guys would like to.
Chat amongst ourselves.
No. Or if you'd like to help me here, why don't I share this?
Okay,
And then you can help me add.
great.
I'm on to Norris here. Does anybody have those handy? I'm like going back and forth on this. But sidewalks.
Norris is 9,000. But you got
9,000.
that. You
Yeah.
got that.
For sidewalks.
But they have multiples.
They have multiple things.
I only saw one. Huh.
Yeah,
In that it's just a continuation of, there's priority 1, priority 2 is, bear with
Wow.
me.
Yeah. Carpet for several rooms.
oh, I totally missed that. Okay.
The carpet is 37,475.
Yeah.
Okay, let me keep
Okay,
scrolling.
forget what I said about us being able to cover everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Priority 3 is the masonry issues
The masonry, it needs more work.
for
Yeah,
10,000.
we only did some of those.
So that was 10.
There's no A in masonry. Just
No.
FYI.
Mace.
Mary.
I love it.
That looks like missionary.
Masonry.
Masonry.
It's okay. Spelling is not a strong suit of mine. I readily admit this. 10,000.
Minor structural something in ceilings. I'm trying to read it, is 12,750.
Above me entrances. Yeah, and large cracks and blocks. So this has to do with main entrances.
Okay.
Cracks and blocks. Priority 4.
That was that one.
Oh,
Was
more masonry?
more.
12,750, yes, was. Did anybody read that? I'm not sure, handwriting wise. Structural, I can't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, repair minor structural masonry and on entrance ceiling. Repair.
Entrance ceiling, yep. And that one is 12,750. That was 4.
Okay, so that's how do we want to label these? So 3 is masonry, major masonry issues. So this is considered major and minor.
Number 5 was classroom
Oh.
door,
I get it. Now I'm seeing them. Okay.
interior classroom doors and what that word is.
Yeah, and
And that was for 5910.
yeah, and
Let me see if I can see it here.
oh, and closers.
It seems like closers, but I don't know what
What's closing?
The arms
no,
that close.
casters. If you look down below, it says casters. Interior fire doors and casers.
Says closer in the description, the type.
Oh.
Yeah, it's closers. There's an L in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know that there's not an L in some of these, but closers, it's the closer arm.
Oh, I see it on the quote. Yep. Okay.
Quotes there. And then 6 is replacement of vertical blinds for 14,470.
All right, now I see all those. Yikes. Can you make it a little bit bigger?
I will.
For-
I
for
will.
all guys.
Let me get it all down.
Okay.
And that's where is that in the auditorium? Or in the
Probably. Yeah.
That's in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
cafeteria and
Yeah.
counseling rooms? Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I've noticed those. Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've needed that since our
Margaret-
kids were there.
I was gonna say, Margaret, I think they've needed those blinds since
Mhm.
Eric and Abby have been in kindergarten.
Yep.
Okay, so let me blow this up a little bit more. All right. All right, and then let's do. We did fire. Let's do police. I did fire already. Who has police up? I got police here. Gas boiler. Did we not get we didn't get a quote.
Right.
No.
That makes this a little challenging.
One on their long-term plan either, so
No,
it's listed, but there's no dollar amount, yeah.
it's going to make that hard to approve right now. Okay. No quote. I put highway on here. I put greenway on here. What else am I missing?
I think that's
That's
it.
Yeah.
Can we total the smaller dollar ones?
Yeah, I just want to confirm something. I just want to make sure that I got them all. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, let me total. Just gonna leave that blank so that it totals.
Yeah, maybe you can move the big items over a line so that they don't get counted.
Oh, fair.
Those are going to go into debt. I mean, they have to go into debt exclusion, right? Not
Yeah.
necessarily those other ones, but we'll
Which
move
ones?
over the 47.5 and 44.4.
Okay. I mean, those are going to short-term debt, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Let's just see what we have. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Go for it.
And we have 152,592.
Okay.
I think. Let me just confirm that.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what Ed sent us.
Yes, but there's a caveat to that, I think. I just want to check that.
Margaret, can you send me that email that he sent with that information? Because I
Mhm.
half of this stuff goes to
It
my
was at the very top of,
one of them. I figured it must have been in one. I was trying to find it.
yeah, so the highway one,
Okay. All right.
the very, very top. Let me know if you don't see it and I'll pop it over.
I have the highway one, so I should be okay.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So that's definitely the number.
Did he ever get back to you on free cash and op stabilization?
Yeah, so he did. I'll put those on here. So it's worth just saying that the existing balance of this is call it 438,652, 438,652. So that's the existing balance. We do anticipate adding we're looking at adding that to it at town meeting per our policy that we do, where we split up, where we split
Oh, yeah.
up and add them to the buckets.
Yep.
So that presumably would be the new total.
Is there,
From free cash, the
Well, that's
85.
not free, yeah, well, the free cash right now, I think, is zero. Well, let me just check that. So zero, because technically that's the way it is, because we allocate the free cash.
Yep.
So, but after we've allocated what we're going to allocate to capital, and which is already included in the capital number that I already listed, and what we allocate to op stabilization, which I just showed you, he's saying that 71,594, 71,594 in free cash. Now he's also chewed into some of this with some other ideas that he has. He's going to recommend that we fund MS4 stormwater, which are, if you're familiar with this, like the state has handed down this MS4 stormwater permit, which is like a multi-year thing that we need to go through, but it's not something that's going to linger on our budget more than, like, say 3 or 4 more years. So we've been having a hard time with our budget, and obviously adding this into it just detracts from everything else that we're trying to do. So we've been considering this like one-time expenses as opposed to operating expenses, if that makes sense. Just giving you historical how we've treated this, and that's 37,250. So
Out of free cash.
that's what he's anticipating doing, and personally I would support that, but I can't speak for the select board.
Okay.
So that, just know that, like, it's not, we don't have that total amount. Well, we do, but because I don't get to decide this, but I don't think we're gonna have that total number to play with. It's going to be more like 30. If that makes sense, if we do allocate this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, is it worth kind of, I can lead off, or I can let you folks kind of lead off on how I see this, and see if you all disagree or agree.
Well, right off the top, if we move the vehicles into short-term debt,
Yeah.
that leaves us enough to cover the other items. Right?
Yep.
With some to spare for the boiler furnace.
for the police?
For the police, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So maybe, yes. I'm not opposed to how this looks so far.
And I think we have to support the highway. I think they have.
No, we do. I'm totally with you on that. So if we want to,
they keep asking and we keep saying no, and I think they're clearly at the point where they cannot operate effectively anymore.
Yep. And they're way behind. And if you look at their capital plan, like next year is going to be a doozy if they stick with that, like a real doozy, $1 million if they're headstrong about trying to do that next year. But
what else? What do they need next year?
We've gotten so behind, to your point, Margaret, we've gotten so behind on vehicles that he's trying to play a little bit of catch up so that we get on this regular cadence of like a vehicle every 2 years or so. But we've gotten so behind on it that he's trying to play catch up. And like now he knows that he's not going to get more than 1 or 2 at most per year. So they've stacked up So next year, I think he's got 3 big ones on there, like
Ugh.
three 250 grand ones.
Yeah.
So like, because we've just been up against the wall here with this, and full disclosure, like we're getting, their maintenance is, from the select board standpoint, their maintenance budget is not looking good and hasn't looked good. So they're deteriorating. So I'm with you on these 2 things, which is, this one I would call a debt exclusion.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
this one I would say debt exclusion or short-term borrowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I would say-
can I just add on the brush vehicle, the rescue vehicle, I know that the 2 departments, fire and police, are putting in for a grant. It's called the Commonwealth Security Trust Fund grant, and they each get to put in 20,000, but this is just in case. I mean, they've needed it for rescue, and by the time they borrow it from another town, it can be a while.
Yep.
Where they get it. So
Yeah, I read that. And then it does make sense to me because we do have places in our town that require that.
yeah,
But it could be used for other than brush or rescue, right? I mean,
it's both police rescue and the brush. So they were looking at, I guess, a slip-on. It's called a skid unit, and it's kind of a slip-on firefighting unit that can go on there also.
Mhm.
And I think a trailer in there also. So it would be for both uses, both
Okay.
and fire.
The thing, I don't, so you're saying that this may be funded out of a grant at some point?
It may be, but
Okay.
what happened was one department was looking to put it in for a grant, and the other department didn't realize it and put it in. But
Okay.
not sure that grant is going to come through.
Okay. So I don't dispute that we need this. What my concern is that it's a net new addition when we've clearly got vehicles that are not only this year, but also we've just got vehicle issues. So it's hard to prioritize a new addition when we aren't taking care of what we presently have, if that makes sense. That's kind of where my head's on that. And that coupled with the fact that if we do have the potential for a grant, there's part of me that wants to see that process through first before adding this onto our to-do list.
Anybody, do you know when the grant award is supposed to be announced or?
I don't know that. I think that would be, we would need to talk to the chief, the police chief and the fire chief on that one.
so how often has John run up against this situation with needing to borrow a brush or rescue?
I think that this past year, I can ask, but I think it's been a couple times.
Yeah, I know of 2, and one of them was like last week.
In a brush fire.
Yeah, I know of 2.
Yeah. And then I think there was a recovery.
Yeah, there was that one. That's the other one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I mean, there is also, it's also worth, like, this is what mutual aid is for too. I mean, if we own everything as a town, and we try to take care of every single scenario, it's just hard to know where the line is. Is it 2? Is it 5? Is it 10? I mean, is it once a month? How many instances do we need where we're asking for mutual aid? But obviously mutual aid is, comes in the form of many things. This, helicopters, So I don't know.
When's the last time the fire department got a new vehicle or a replacement vehicle?
They got the truck. The chief got a new truck. When
That was last year?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was last year, and then they re-outfitted the old
vehicle too.
chief's fire truck to be the hose truck, and then there was there was the new ambulance, which was 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was 3, but maybe 4, just outside of my term as select board. And then there was the The brush truck. The big brush truck,
Yeah.
not the ATV with the plow.
So we haven't said no to the fire department in a while. I wonder, that's not a reason to say no. That's not what I'm saying. But looking at $600,000 in possible debt exclusion, 2.5 override, it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. For me, with and a couple times a year, and also the grant. I mean, all of those things are ways to maybe mitigate this or lessen it to a certain degree. I just think it's not, for me, it's just not a necessary need right now above some of these other things, especially in the face of where we're going to go. I mean, especially for this one, we're going to try to go after a debt exclusion override for this one.
Yeah.
We haven't even discussed this one yet, but we're certainly going with this one, I think. And how much is the public going to tolerate? I mean, this one you can defend because you just throw the old one out in front of town hall and say, this is what you're replacing, like we did last time. And I think that was successful. Like, we put the old truck out with the rotten floorboards and the holes in the bottom of it, and the thing was done. And I think people saw that walking in and were like, okay, like, that's what we're getting rid of.
Yep.
Do we want to table this?
Maybe we should hear more from John.
Okay.
Both John and the police
And
chief, Ian.
So schedule a separate meeting for John and Ian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Separate.
Separate.
He's in there.
The spell check.
RATE.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You had it.
Sid walks too, but we won't go there. You're doing a great job, Matt.
I'm working on it. I would have figured, I know that wasn't the right way to spell it.
Typing faster than your fingers.
That's right. Do we want to talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that we just got a grant for 100,000 and we still need additional monies to get there. I mean, let's take advantage of the grant. I think you can see that people are working to get towards the Greenway. You know,
Didn't we have a situation where we got a grant and then it just expired?
No.
Yeah.
Well, we were at risk. Was that the Greenway?
Yeah.
Oh.
that was a huge grant.
But I don't think we ended up using it, did we? Or did we?
We ran out of time.
Yeah.
We turned it back.
Yep.
Yeah, but isn't there legislation in there that says that we might be able to use community preservation to purchase the railroad?
It hasn't been going anywhere yet.
Yeah, but it's sitting there.
I think we're the only community that's requesting it. From what my last conversation with Lindsay, I heard that she's not as optimistic because we are the only community asking for CPA funds for that purpose. We may not have a lot of noise, but we can get an update from her. But
this is one of those things where I feel like it just needs to go to the town. Like we know we can't cover it in our budget. It has to go to an override. We can say whether we recommend it or not, but I think the town should decide.
and does that got voted on separately from?
Yeah, it would be a separate article.
Yep. Same as with the highway stuff.
I think it's time to go to the. I mean, I agree with Margaret. I mean, we've got the 100,000. We've worked to try to chip away at it. Let's not lose it another grant. And
Yeah, I think it will be painful this year. It'll be painful next year if highway needs that much.
Yeah.
I mean, towns across the country are facing this aging infrastructure problem.
Mm-hmm. I mean, can I ask some questions on this Greenway? I think I'm naive to it, and I've certainly formed some opinions in my own mind that might not be based on correct fact. Does anybody on this committee know a lot about the Greenway?
I don't.
I don't.
No.
I just knew that thing about the CPA because
Yeah, I know about that too.
yeah.
I wonder if we should invite some Greenway people the same night that we're talking to John and Ian, just so that we can make a cogent argument for whatever recommendation we're making.
I would appreciate that, because like, as hard as this is for me to say, like, I am not in the Greenway camp yet. I'm not saying that I'm not in the camp, but I'm not, like, it's hard for me to just lay it all out there. I usually lay it out there to begin with. But for me with the Greenway, it's hard to extend a dead end through the middle of the woods for $6 million when it doesn't connect anything to anything really. And so like, that's the part that I kind of want to understand, which is a long-term project. Like, Westfield's got active tracks where it otherwise would connect. Maybe there's a data point that I'm missing, but that's where it would connect. Otherwise, we're tunneling through the middle of the woods just to dead end it at Sheldon's with 2 bridges and $6 million in between. It makes me scratch my head a little bit about, like, if we were literally connecting Westfield to Easthampton, sign me up.
Yeah,
But we're not, and we're literally just creating another dead end, and there's nothing in between except for woods. Am I missing something? I mean, I'm just being super pragmatic. I'm like trying to
chip away at it, because we're never going to get what the whole thing is going to cost us. It may just need to be chipped away at. That's my thought. I mean, yeah. I mean, because when you go even more pragmatic, and you look down, when you stroll down Brickyard and you see that the tracks are like 10 feet from people's front doors and 10 feet from people's back doors and running through the middle of somebody's pool. I mean, the railroad tracks going through the middle of their pool?
Pretty much. I mean, how does that work? I mean, you drive down that road and you look where the tracks are and you see what people have done. Like, I'm assuming everybody's encroaching, because I doubt anybody's bought that. But I mean, there's tracks like 10 feet in front of somebody's front door. There's tracks within feet of somebody's back deck. I don't know. I'm just like, how is that like ever gonna?
Yeah, that's been brought up every time we've talked about this at town meeting, that exact issue.
I haven't been involved like beyond 3 years heavily to know. And so like, I profess that I'm maybe missing a few data points here, but like for me, like I'd like to hear the entire discussion starting from the start of this, because it seems like there's a lot of people that are in support of this. And I'm just curious to understand all of those reasons, like really all of those reasons, because I don't think I have all of the data points. I don't know. The reason why I brought it up is I think you guys have been active for a while too, and I didn't know if you had more data points than I had to understand it a bit better.
I don't, not good enough. So I actually have to go because I need to get ready for my next meeting. So
Okay.
I usually get there about 5 minutes early. So do we want to vote on these things after our next meeting with John and Ian in the Greenway?
We can do that. Is there before you go, is there another, I mean, we probably need to talk to Ian about this.
Yep.
Yeah.
We should probably send him a message to see if he can get a quote in the meantime.
Yep. That's the only other concern I have. I mean, I know those things for Norris have been just on the list for a long time, and doing part of it and partially repairing the sidewalks and, et cetera and so on.
Yeah, but they still need repair.
Oh, yeah. Our associate principal
They're really bad.
was carrying her kid and tripped on the sidewalk and dropped her kid and hurt herself and went to the hospital. So, yeah.
So before you head out, Margaret, I hate to oversimplify this, but does anybody have, I don't know if everybody read through all of these things. I happened to. This was the one that I hadn't seen, but it was great that Lucy was on here. Like, I support the voting machines.
Yep.
I support the remainder of items.
I completely support her.
Yeah. I do.
Out of capital funds.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so let me just write that down, and then we can just take a vote on the spreadsheet if that works. Capital stabilization.
So I move that we fund the requests from the town clerk, the voting machines, the library boiler and hot water heater, the Norris items, and that's it so far.
Out of the capitalization
Out of capital
stabilization.
stabilization. Yep.
I second that.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Lucy.
All right, so
all
does
those in
everybody say
favor?
aye to those?
Yep. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then I move to fund single axle plow dump truck for 261,000 and the one I'll just leave it. I'll leave it there for 2.5 debt exclusion
Wait a minute.
override vote.
Hold on. The 260, the single axle?
Yeah, this right here for a proposition 2.5 debt exclusion override vote.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Aye.
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 And then I move to fund the 1-ton plow pickup, either out of debt exclusion, proposition 2.5 override vote, or short-term borrowing. I'm adding that in because I know that that's what, Ed's going to want, that flexibility with that item based on previous.
Okay.
Second.
Aye.
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 And then just for completeness, Greenway 270,000, brush rescue vehicle 47,500, and police gas boiler furnace. We are going to request to meet with the appropriate parties at our next meeting.
Correct.
Yep.
All right. I got to scoot.
Good.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'm leaving too because I'm going to school committee. Thank you. Bye.
Great. Take it easy.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Can you send this to me?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm going to send it to everyone, including Ed.
Okay.
I'll clean it up a little bit, but we're all on recording here, so I'll clean it up a little bit so that we have a decision column and where we're at right now, and I'll just say that this is a working document.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. What time is it?
I'll second at
6:25.
26 I have, but anyway.
Roland day.
Can I?
Bye.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.